Hey everyone, Teamudf here for some more of the community showcase. Today we start with Embers of Twilight demo by Rainstorm. I believe he submitted level 4 and perhaps 5 or something. Let's go ahead and take a look. Lake Temple. Oops. Alright, so let's see. We've got the Eagle Sword, the Kestrel crossbow, the Lantern Bombs, the Forged Hammer, the Shadow Mirror, which I believe is the Warp Doll, the Boomerang, the Staff of Eras, I don't remember what this is. And El Hook Shadow. Alright. Big on, Zora. Yeah, let's just go through the portal. Oh god. Wizard Zobes. Let's get all the Wizard Zobes. Get them all. Oh, we actually had to get them all. Actually, unless I could hookshot torches in this one. Doesn't look like it. Okay. Oh, no. Oh. Alright, let's see. There's a like. Let's see if we can hammer this guy. What was the name of the main character again? Hey, Neos. Rowan. Okay, that's right. Right, because of the whole, the joke with the Wyatt family. Okay, I remember now. Oh. There was something else to do in there. There was more. Oh, okay. Do you push? You do push. Okay. Alright, what triggered this? Bow? Yes. That a rust switch? Ah, yes. Okay, alright. Alright. It's at least one that you're kind of forced to run into, though. No problemo. Rust switches are okay when it's very clear you'll run into them, or when they're not halfway across the dungeon. I'm being generous. More than halfway across the dungeon. Oh no, El Dark Nutto. Got El Compesso. This handy tool will do nothing. It also has a new feature. It still does nothing. Alright. Oh! That's where the boss is. The boos. Oh, okay. Oh. Wait a minute. Wrong button. We got our dungeon mappo. Now we can see the layout of the temple. Okay, this quest didn't have. Just double checking. Okay. Ow. Oh. Ran into the water. Alright. I want to see what's in here. Nothing. Okay. Should have paid attention to the color-coded teleporters. Alright, so there's more to do over here. Alright, probably one of these things can be affected by whatever the heck this thing is. Ah, okay. Oh god. Many angry Armos. And we got a smoke here. Oh, now I can go back to the... Okay, thing over here. I mean, Armo spawns are random, so it's not like Rain intentionally put those there. It doesn't matter, whatever. Be gone, Wizardsobes. Be gone. What? You didn't be gone. Punk. Uh-oh. Landmolo. Come here, Landmolo. It's time for your reckoning. Oh. We got the magic scale. This giant scale lets you swim. Alright. Now we can do the stuffs. Okay. Oh, I bet this is the other side of that one room. Oh, you know what? Was this one of the quests with the... Oh, it was. Okay, it does have that script. Good. Okay. Alright. Do I actually want to hit this yet? Oh, well, I eventually want it down for the boost. Where was the, Oh. There's a path over here. I'm trying to remember where that other path is, though. Oh, we need the keys to go that way. Okay. Need El Kio. Oh, I bet it was here. Yeah, it was the blue one. Okay. I'll be behind that waterfall. Yep. Got a smile key. Pretty traditional water segment with the flippers. Was there anything back this far? I don't remember. Might just be going backwards. I got something. I think it was money. Oh, there was something back here. It was a small Kia. What's through here, then? Something else. So, wrong item. Okay, I moved that over there, whatever that is. Hey, illusionary. Don't think there was anything in the room to the side. That's that one teleporter. This is where... Okay, so now we probably continue. Let's see. Hey, Link's Blue Ocarina. Thanks for the beats. Be gone, likes. Getting stabbed. Oh. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Wapushinka. Oh, okay, here we go. Now we're in the side of the room. Okay. Is this a weaker hammer? I don't remember. Yeah, it is. Not by much, so. Okay. I guess that's a big key thingamajig. I like the waterfall thing here. Into the pit. I can probably... Yeah, okay. Oh no, the bats. Be gone, bats. No, that doesn't, oh, it does. Okay, it's just not like a thing. Okay, I got you. Can actually grab that, okay. What does this want? Oh, okay. Huh. Alright. Well, we did it. I guess. Okay. Oh, okay, that lowered. Okay, I got you. Alright. Oh. There's a booms. We got booms. It's my, it is the big Kia. Are you lit? You don't look lit. You are not lit. Alright. Uh-oh. Bad voodoo. Good voodoo! We got a piece of heart! And I guess that's enough for a new heart container in this demo. Okay. So is this a shortcut back then? It is. This goes right to the entrance. Okay. Alright. Looks like that's about wrapped up then, so now we just go kill El Boos. Alright, pretty nifty little lake temple here. I like the use of the items in the puzzles. Graphics are pretty decent. It's pretty, it actually kind of fits the tranquility of the water temple theme that was chosen for it, honestly. Oh god, that purple pink, though. Twilight Bloat Patra, alright. Get him. Get him. Oh, you can actually... He did. We got El Heart Containerino. Alright, yeah, a fine little dungeon there. The Lake Temple. Oh. And now we're at the Twilight Sanctuary, which I can't remember if we actually visited in the demo or not. The first demo. What? You again? Did you take the mirror shard from the temple? I feel like I know this guy. Yona? I might know this guy. Of course I did. It was my birthright to fulfill... To fulfill? My grandfather's dream of uniting the realms of light and twilight. Righting the injustice that was done upon us all those years ago. Uh-oh. Oh. Right into the next fight here. Ow. Why would you do that? Uh-oh. He's changed his tactics. Ooh, those are some good bomb sounds. But unfortunately, does not seem as though they work. Okay, fire will do it. Okay. Oh, he's still going. He's changed his tactics again. This time it looks like the sword is going to defeat him. And this is what I believe is the mirror shard. Okay, now the door's open. Alright, so that was the Lake Temple. And now let's see, we got a shot of the Twilight Village here. I have to be good because if I'm not, the evil tentacle monster will get me. Yep, that's the jobs for you. You probably could afford to just move this up by 1. So it's not completely at the edge of the screen. Very minor gripe, though. Life has gotten pretty difficult since that Yona took over the Twilight Realm. He's far too selfish to rule. Yeah, we should give control to, that guy standing up there. Oh, right. Our sprite, like, changes based on, right, I remember this now. Okay. What are you? Rumor has it that the old crypt is home to an ancient Twilight. Some even say they're one of the original interlopers. That means they're super powerful, but they're going to be taken care of in a cutscene and never spoken of again. Thanks, Twilight Princess. Still one of my favorite Zeldas, but, I understand the criticisms that it has. Shadow of the Crypt gives me nightmares. Get it? Get it? Get it? Does it give you fractal nightmares? Okay. Yeah, okay. I heard Yona reopened the old prison. I've only heard horrible stories of that place. Good. I'm about to make them worse. Welcome to my shop. Shut up. Oh, crap. We need 1 rupee. Give me money. Aha. Wait, do I actually have this shield already? Let me double check. It actually looks like I might have this shield already. I do. Okay. Never mind. From what I heard, the old crypt is where an ancient dark sorceress was sealed away. Good. I'm gonna release her. I've never seen you around here before. It's rare to see newcomers around these days. By the way, there's a way that you can make the sprites here before the screen loads in by like running its screen initiation or whatever, but at this point, if that's way too much work to go back and change all the FFCs, I wouldn't bother at this point, but there is a way to make them actually show up really quickly. You can't? What? Yes, you can. That's how I did AU. Oh, you had glitches with the FFCs? It's a quest rule. What? Well, that means you still can. So what do you mean you can't? Shut up. Alright. I've heard scary sounds coming from the old crypt. The voice in my head keeps telling me to destroy snow something. Is it talking about the Twilight? I don't know. Let's hope so. Oh yeah, Snow Haration. That song. Did I go in here? I don't remember. Oh, I did not. I don't remember ransacking this house. Twilight Queen died a couple years ago. It was tragic. And an ooh, the spelling of that word, unfortunately. Her benevolence was replaced by Yona's malice. That Yona's no different from his grandfather, but evil as he may be, it's the old crypt that seems scarier. This is the chieftain's house. Chieftain's home, I guess. Okay. Books. Darn. No secret books telling me how to save the snowy mountains of Myso. Oh, it's spelled correctly here, though. Okay. Hello, welcome to our village. I'm the chieftain here, and you are... My name is Rowan. I'm not from around here. You could even say, I'm going to kill all human... Okay. We don't get many visitors here these days. Not since Yona took over the Twilight Realm, but I sense the power of the Mirror of Twilight on you. This is impossible, but it must mean you are chosen to save us from the evil witch that haunts the ancient crypt. I will release my barrier so you can pass. Sure. Not fearing the shadow of the crypt will be a great relief to the village. Good luck. What are you doing? Don't do... Oh, he's dead. Oh, now we run the town. I don't suspect any of these are secrets, but I guess some of them could be. And if they're not, well, we're gonna population level this town. No, I remember this. I need to talk... Wait, oh, that's Rowan speaking. I need to talk to Grandpa. I'm guessing if I had actually seen something here in context, I would not be as confused as I am. Okay. Trading quest. Alright, gotcha. It used to be much easier to travel through the Twilight Realm, but since Yona took over, most of the old routes have fallen into the abyss, and any other ways are too crowded with deadly monsters. What was that noise in the sanctuary earlier? It sounded like fighting. Well, shut up. No, okay, alright. Nothing back here, huh? Alright, okay. There's ghosts. Big purple ghosts. Ah, my Keru. Welcome to the Strum of Doom. This is made by Rainstorm in chat. He can tell you all about it. This is on Zelda Classic. And there's ghosts. Darn it. Oh, that's Shoshone. Oh, okay. All right. they don't need the intro to Zelda Classic then. Alright. You cannot pass. Behind here lies the rest of the quest. We'll just see about that. Ah, darn it. He turned on the good option. Alright. Doesn't seem as though there's any secrets to find yet. Alright, off we go. Sheol. Well, we're using the good palette again, at least. The 9A. The best palette in the world. Oh. Oh. Keep getting them. Keep getting them. I don't even remember. Ow. What? This level was inspired by Isaac. How could that be with the name Sheol? I thought it was a Chrono Trigger reference. It's impossible. This is completely confusing me. I demand a do-over. Okay. I have not saved yet. Those must be bow triggers then. They're not bow triggers. Okay. Oh. There we go. They are sword triggers. Okay. We got El Compass, which means nothing will happen. I'll do that. Alright. Man, these over-under bridges, you could win Screenshot of the Week. Now, I guess the question is, why did I want to do that? This must be another rust switch. It is. Okay. Oh. Darn stupid snakes. Let's see, next floor. Oh, this is the... Okay, I thought this was level 6. I guess you moved it to level 5. Okay. Either or, it was never level 6. I don't know. Ooh, isn't this place super long, then? Ooh, it's super long. Okay, we'll maybe get to a decent stopping point then, unless we just end up with nothing else, because Kate has not gotten back to me about raiding yet. See if I can figure out what that actually did. Doesn't look like it did anything. Okay, look for secrets. Okay, it's good for reading. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Is this one of those things I can hit the... No. Okay. Ah! Keep getting rid of my sword. Okay. Okay, it is apparently... Oh, okay. Alright. I mean, Midi's pretty high up. I actually don't know what that did for me. Am I killing the Lake? No. Unless I have to kill it with... Oh, it's a rust switch. Okay. Alright. that one is less obvious. Okay, alright. One other thing I can try for this. Except it's gonna, like, okay. Okay, we need a small key to proceed, and or another rust switch. It's not the same color, though, so it doesn't seem likely that a rust switch will be the culprit here. But it might be. Let's go get the map, I suspect. Mab. Mab. Yup, it is a good music choice. What is that doing? That's just raising an... Oh, okay, okay. Alright. You can do it, Link. Wait, you're not Link. You can do it, Rowan. Small key. Oops. Did I already eat the shield? No, I'm gonna reset it then. No, I'm too lazy to go back out and buy one. There's one outside for 75. Okay, actually now this is starting to look like a rust switch. Get out of here. Get out of here, you stupid bat keys things. Alright. Let's see. Is this another... Oh no, this is a block puzzle. Never mind, hang on. Alright. Which are the... Okay, I want the top and the... Okay, alright. Let me push this one out of the way. Okay. Alright, rust switch complete. Next, greed. Ooh, that was GoldenEye, I heard. Suddenly we're playing AU. No, okay, I'm kidding. I like these sprites. Okay, let's see. Ah, that one missed. Oh, no, it didn't. Oh, I'll be darned. Alright, we got Casholo, which we probably don't want given that the sin is greed. Welcome to my shop, how may we help you? Alright. Maybe we do want it. Maybe we gotta buy keys. Nope, it's a fake key. So this is not like the city. Okay, more money to spend on nothing. That looked like a text box at first. Yeah, we're taking all the money. We're going to play into the gimmick because I'm feeling particularly facetious. It's by the arrows, by the feather. Okay, it doesn't even show up in the thing. Let's get him. There's us, an angry spooter. Oh, that was another bat. Never mind. Yeah, never mind. Okay, this... I don't know what I have. Oh, just more money. Okay, I got you. Alright. One day, Mitsukara, you'll get that actual feather. There's a decent chance that's an actual heart piece, given that there was one in the other dungeon, but I don't have the money for it. Do I even want this? I guess I don't. Okay. I don't remember. What triggers this. Let's try fire. No. Okay. Ah. There we go. Okay. Oh, God. Oh, okay. Oh. Yeah, it seems weird that I'm only getting money. All right. Don't you shoot at me. Don't you do it. That's right. That's what I thought. All right. That's apparently not a heart piece. Hammer triggers also apparently come out to us in level 3, which we did not see. Oh, there you go, everybody. Here's the pot of greed. Okay, sloth. You got the pot of greed in there, everybody. Went ahead and drew a nice pot of greed. I'm pointing it out because nobody reacted, which means they probably didn't understand what it was. You goobs. Alright. Okay. So this gives you the key because you're lazy or something, I guess? Oh, there's the real heart piece. Oh, God. Huh. Interesting. I guess because I got used to scripted conveyors? I don't know. Okay. Maybe they were always that bad. Okay. All right. Oh god, I don't know what these are doing. They're switching direction. Okay, alright, okay. Bad in the sense that they didn't... The vanilla conveyors didn't really seem to affect much. I actually don't... Dang it, I didn't pay attention to what that did. Oh, well. I'm sure it's fine. Alright, there's money down there. I'm skipping it. Okay, there's the big key. Alright. Ow, what a douche. Alright, next. Wrath. What do you want? Hello, Rowan. How do you know my name? Who's in the text box? I'm just a puppet. My master awaits below. You may proceed. Okay, thanks. Alright. I am interested in one thing, though. Yeah, what if someone jumps down without the mirror shield? There's a war pop, okay. Is this it? Okay. Oh, Jesus Christ, what is this? Okay. Alright, well, whatever. So what I wanted. There we go. Sounds good, Kate. Okay. I'm going to suspect all of these things are fake items because it's called envy. I guess it's like a super duper double check that you got the... Alright. Can also taunt you maybe, I don't know. Okay, that looks like that needs a regular small key. Alright. Let's go elsewhere. Oh, God. Alright. Hammer everything okay, alright. Don't hammer everything, I guess. Okay, that's supposedly the boss door. Alright. Let's go to it then. Doesn't seem like it. All right. Okay, so there's a small key somewhere here. Maybe it's that, like, heart piece over there somewhere that I was at. No, wait, it could be over here. Oh, let's try killing all these things. See if we can get a key to spawn. Hey. Is there still one over there? I can't see. Why don't I try reflecting? Oh. What? Did something? Oh, that made a chest appear. Okay. There's no point in... Small key. Now we open the door and go on to the next scene. By the way, most of these things have been fine so far. I just am not in a reviewing mood today, so I'm not saying a whole lot of useful content. But it's fine. It's all fine. Dang it. Oh, no, of course these enemies are at the end. Alright. Try to ignore them. Okay. Pride. Oh, that sounded like the first note of the Abyss song from Lost Lineage. It is. It is the Lost Lineage. The one dungeon in Lost Lineage that had not only this palette, but this song as well. Alright, well I guess it's a good thing that that quest is never coming out. Alright. God dang it. I hate these enemies. Alright, let's find out what killed them. Nothing, apparently. I killed one somehow. Ah, I see. No longer hate these enemies. I lied, I hate these enemies. Alright, there we go. That's right. You talk crap, then they'll do something. Alright, except I need them alive to hit things. Okay. Except they're dead now. Okay, and that's not an enemies always returns room. And, okay, here we go. That's a rough switch. Alright. Well, now we're back here. I might as well just... Alright. Oh, God. Alright. I saw that at the last second. That's nice. Hello, Rowan. Welcome to my domain, big brother. No, I'm kidding. Okay. And you are. I am the master of this ruin. My name is Winda. Right, that crate mentioned something about a master, so what do you want? This is the end of the demo, and I am the boss of this dungeon. So to end it, you must die. Oh, alright. Twilight, okay, it's the thing. It's from Yu-Gi-Oh, everybody. Alright. Might just be waiting. Okay. See, though, this doesn't make sense. Because... I don't think Winda can be destroyed by card effects, and we're killing her with Mirror Force. Okay, now she's angry. And also a bubble. Oh. No. Got the old 8-way magic. Our Raphael training has prepared us for... Okay, she's dead. You got a heart container. Remember, Rowan, the dark power of the mirror. Good. I want all the dark power I can get. I want all of it. Last bit of it. Alright, those are levels 4 and 5 of Rainstorm's Embers of Twilight. Embers 2 Twilight, Embers of Twilight, Embers something Twilight. Which you can play in Zelda Classic on 2.50 whenever he finishes it. Overall, both dungeons were quite good. I like the graphics, especially in the 5th level, but that's because I have a heavy bias toward Palette 9A in Pure Remembrance. It always looks good. And, bosses are pretty nice. Pretty much a good showing of what you can do without overkilling scripts and everything. So, fine stuff there, Rainstorm. Well done, well done. And we got a big, fat, hefty amount of Zelda Classic in as well. On videos where people don't seem to realize that they're Zelda Classic and they're not clicking on them as a result. So I can't win either way. Let's go then to the next thing. Which is not Zelda Classic. And no overabundance of block puzzles. Yes, indeed. Where is the next thing that I want to show off? Oh, here, we'll do a couple small Gina things since she's been doing this. Actually, no, there's a couple large... Wait, Gina, am I allowed to show the thing that you did for not me? Am I supposed to be showing things that you did for, that other person? I don't even know if Gina's here. Everything is terrible, everybody. Alright. Oh, okay. There they are. Alright. Alright, everybody. Hang on. We've got some bonus Gina art for you. Where is it? There it is. You know what? Hang on, everybody. I'm going to move this to the next monitor over. Because it's a rather large picture and I don't want to cut it off with silliness. Bam. There's JoJo, Blaine Phoenix, and Julia Stapler. With staples. He's got staples on his keys. You see him right here. You see the staples right on the key. Okay, I'm kidding. Yes. Yes, but here's your Joe joke for the day. You'll punch ghost me? Yeah, give it a try. Give it a try, you douche. Let's go, Jubs. We're gonna fight ya. We're gonna fight. Look, it's you guys. Look, it's you guys. It's you guys. Block puzzles are unnecessary. Hey, I like that opinion. Is Blaine doing a suck it pose? God dang it. God dang it. Yeah, so this is something called stands from JoJo or whatever. See, because I have not seen anything of JoJo except that one scene that I referenced for a while and have forgotten anything about. I don't know what any of this is, but there you go. Yeah. I also don't know how intentional it is that the samurai looks pretty close to Zelos, but is of course obviously not Zelos. But yeah, no, it's pretty good. He's a good stuff. I don't know about these facial expressions here by Blaine, but I don't know. Gina said it was the style of JoJo, so yeah, I don't know. I got nothing. It's very interesting though, and I do like the background. I like how the colors flow and everything. There's a lot of good stuff here. Except this weird thing right here. You can see if we just zoom in, you notice that there's some weird, strange guy named Julius Stabler here. I don't know what's up with that, but no, okay. There you go. JoJo has an interesting, eccentric style. You'll gut me with your fist? Yeah, well, what if I erase it? Then there's no fist. Yeah, take that. Now there's no fist. See, we're going to do art as well, everybody. Teamudf can also do art. Alright. So yes, wonderful job there, Gina. Das ist good art. We've got a little bit more Gina art, but I wanted to full screen that one because that was a big old pupper. Big old pupper. Where the heck are we here? Oh, here we go. Here was the Riley picture, for those of you who have not seen it yet. Riley wearing her bomber jacket and everything. I feel like Gina's perception of Riley is that she's very sinister for some reason. I don't know, but Yeah, there you go. And you can see the Stardust Serpent, the Starstream Serpent over in the corner there. But yeah. And like I said, I'm still going back and forth in my head as to whether this outfit makes her look too masculine, but it's also just like goofy nonsense fun, so I mean, it's fine, whatever. But yeah, I love the jacket for sure. She's going to be an interesting character to write. She's going to be one of the more whiplashy characters as far as emotions and stuff goes, so. But yeah, Gina's artist interpretation here is that she must kill everybody. She is going to destroy everyone. Alright, and here's Pi. Pi has also made his grand return. Yeah, she's competitive, but she's not, like, evil. She's not, like, mean. Yeah, Pi is too cool for everyone. He's gonna use the Alcahest and just, like, beat the heck out of everybody and not even crack a smile doing it. He's kind of ready to off ya, everybody. He's there. Also, he's got shoes. I'm kidding. It's just because the screen's not, you know. Okay. So I was also thinking it might be cool to have his pendant be like some sort of key for something, but I don't know what it would be a key to yet. I was like pitching this idea to Gina last night. I mean, anyone familiar with regular Battlezone knows that he's important eventually, so yeah. Let's see, Rain is looking forward to reading about Riley and some character who I don't write, especially. Das Good. Riley is like Goku. Goku doesn't get mad, though. I want Riley to get mad when she's losing. Like, one of those kinds of competitive things or whatever. Goku only gets mad because he's just a... like, Goku doesn't actually get mad. Goku doesn't have the rage of losing. Goku just gets mad because you, like, killed one of his friends. Again. Yeah, like a less extreme version of Goku, pretty much. Goku gets mad because the enemy did something that Goku allowed the enemy to do. Because Goku's an idiot. And lets the fights go on too long. But don't worry, because Vegeta and Gohan also have this problem. Meanwhile, Trunks over here is like, yeah, we're just going to end this in like 30 seconds, and then I'm going to go make some pancakes or something. Trunks has, like, the pancakes on the stove, and he's got the sausage ready and everything, and he needs to make his fights in as short of a span so that he doesn't burn his pancakes. Man, there you go. Okay. But yes, so some good Gina art there. The stands for JoJo, the Riley, and Patrick Alexander Ivan. But yeah, I want to get Riley right. I want her to be very cutesy, but at the same time, she's just like, she's not okay with losing. I don't think I'll have her accuse people of cheating or whatever, but she just doesn't want to be on the losing end. She's just very, I don't know. That's like her weak. Well, that's one of her weaknesses, I suppose. I'm not actually entirely sure the other thing is a weakness, though. We'll say it's her weakness. Okay. Next, we're gonna open Chrome here because we have Mitsukara art to show off. And I've also got a little document here that details her description of some Sailor Moon fan story stuff that she had wanted to work on. So let's see. I guess I'll change the art every so often as we're reading, but you can check it out here. Let's see. Her main submission is called Serenity and Vitriol, a Sailor Moon fan story. This began as a long-winded fan fiction, but she's slowly reworking the note. I'm just going to read it in first person because that's how she wrote it. I like change my... Okay. But I'm slowly reworking the notes for it as a game instead, as either a visual novel in Ren'Py, a ZC quest, or potentially an Arpaga. The synopsis, so as we change... Okay. The synopsis. Serenity and Vitriol follows the continuity of the 1990s anime version, exploring the forgotten history of the Golden Kingdom on Earth, when Prince Endymion, not yet known as Tuxedo Mask, adventured to protect the land with his 4 best friends, Sir Jadeite, Sir Nephrite, Sir Zoisite, and Sir Kunzite. Oh boy. Oh boy. Teamudf and anime names. Here we go, everybody. The central character in the story is Vitriol. By the way, I don't know who any of these characters are, so if it's talking about a specific character, I don't think I'm, like, changing to them at the same... I'm just, like, showing the art, so don't mind me. The central character in the story is Vitriol, the past life incarnation of Naru Osaka. Vitriol's brother, Beryl, is being corrupted by the evil sun entity queen Metalia. Should have been Queen Metallica. To reshape the Golden Kingdom into the Dark Kingdom. Also known as Teamudf's room. Vitriol doesn't want to serve Metallica, but is pressured into assisting her mother's twisted schemes. Let's see. Beryl was close with the king and queen in her youth, but in years since she became secretive and mistrustful, and has taken an unrequited interest in their son. Prince Endymion. No, that's the son. Her plans now jeopardize peace talks with the Silver Millennium Moon Kingdom, especially when she learns that Endymion is in love with the moon's princess Serenity, not yet known as Sailor Moon. Meanwhile, Vitriol is forced to send dastardly Yuma monsters... That son of a... No, okay. Yuma monsters to steal human energy, battling the prince and his guardians. But while Vitriol is disguised for her operations, she becomes close to Sir Nephrite, hoping to escape her terrible fate, but afraid instead of dragging Nephrite down with her. Unknown to any of them, the Moon Cats Luna and Artemis have been sent back in time from 31st century Crystal Tokyo in order to witness this forgotten chapter of the Earth and the Moon's tragic history, because it holds the key to saving the Earth of the future from an even greater catastrophe. All right. Okay, and let's see I guess these are the sprites or something. The format of the game. In game format, the player would select from 5 chapters to play through, the longest being the Golden Kingdom story above, while the other 4 would involve other groups the Sailor Senshi have battled, such as the Makaiju aliens, the Black Moon, the Deathbusters, the Dead Moon Circus, and the Sailor Animates. Animamates, I guess. Then a 6th chapter would tie these storylines together in 31st century Crystal Tokyo. This also reminds me of the Live a Live game, or whatever that was called. My hope for Serenity and Vitriol is to bookend the anime by expanding the setting's timeline at both ends. The distant past and a distant future, to tell a new story while keeping closely in the tone with the original anime and its PG-13, OT-16 content, although the story may be a little more complex. Credit goes to Shadowjack of In Which I Watch Sailor Moon, and also John Biles for inspiring the basic idea of a secret mother-daughter connection between Queen Beryl and Naru Osaka, and to my husband for watching the whole show with me and helping me think through these ideas. That poor sod. I'm kidding. I'll be posting about this project on a DeviantArt page in the future. However, my DeviantArt page fell out of use in 2013, and I need to reorganize it a bit more before I submit my work on this project. For the time being, I've also submitted some Sailor Moon fan art to the Discord channel. Yes, indeed. And here's the final such picture. I don't know why these are zoomed so badly on Chrome. Stupid Chrome. Stupid boop. I'm sorry. Alright, good. Looks like people have generally been accepting of this moon of sailors. And she also wants to be your Valentine. She wants to be your Valentine, everybody. Alright, okay. So, there you go. Well done. Well done, Mitsukara. A great fine bit of art. Don't know much about this series, but it sounds like you have way overblown ideas, which in this community is great. Go for it. Yay, yep. That's about the MO. That's the MO, everybody. Yeah, old Teamudf here never really saw anything of Sailor Moon, so I know I botched like 5,000 of those names, and I don't really know. But I do know that one of those arts was indeed Sailor Moon. So there you go, everybody. The Teamudf figured it out. Oh, shoot. Alright. Now, someone has been doing a bit of training, everybody. See, in the time span that it took me to explain all of Mitsukara's Sailor Moon, it appears that Pi has become a ninja. And he is now going to destroy literally everybody. He has had enough of your BS. So y'all better line up, because it's over. He's done. He's just gonna draw out some freaking alchemy. He's gonna be the ninja alchemist, everybody. Patrick Alexander Ivan. The ninja alchemist. Just everybody ripped apart. Just torn to shreds. No chance. Couldn't even counterattack. Not even Mirror Force will save them this time, everybody. Not even Mirror Force will save them this time. There you go, everybody. Yeah, because I know Gina, I think the inspiration for all these recent pictures was that Gina just wanted to, like, give the characters other outfits or whatever, or maybe she just wanted to play with some outfits. But yeah, that headband, dude, that is... Pi is done messing around. You thought you knew Patrick Alexander Ivan. We'll think again. Oh, she's doing it for Smash. Okay, there you go. That's right. I'm going to F you up. Real good. That's what he says. All right. Okay. Okay, good. But the art train is not over, everybody. There's more art. The suplex this train Smash Ultimate theme plays. This time it's going to be the Kate. Kate has done things for Inktober this past couple months. And within the past, you know what, just Inktober. Alright, now all of her stuff is like, not Sailor Moon, Undertale. So I don't know anything about it, but there, those of you who know Undertale stuff, maybe you can appreciate some things here. It looks like she's got them dated. Okay, so how did this work? You had like a, you had to do like a theme for each day here, so like the theme of the 8th day was Star, the theme of the 2nd day was Tranquil. Do I have that about correct here? I don't even know if Kate's still around. I thought she was. Let's see, this 13th day, I think the theme was Guarded. That's kind of how it goes. Okay. 15th day's theme was Weak. Haven't played Undertale. I've heard good things. I haven't played Undertale and I've heard mixed things, so I'm initially very, Very skeptical, but... Alright. Here is, I don't think this guy's name is Sans, but I think he's related to Sans. That's about the gist of this one. Let's see, 19 was Scorched. Oh, let's see, I used the official Inktober chart and unofficial Undertale one. Oh, okay. Alright, there you go. Breakable. Oh, this guy is Sans, I think. Here's Breakable. And here's Gift. There's a, an alligator with a wig being given a bracelet of sorts by Panya, who is for some reason cosplaying as Justin Bieber. Oh no, wait, that's a cat. That's a different cat. Never mind. Okay. I got it backwards, everybody. Alright, there you go. That also explains how she was getting all these done so quickly. I, like, envisioned that she was making full-blown colored pictures every day, and I was like, holy flid. Kate has not done this much art in, like, forever. But, okay, now I understand. Now I understand what's going on. But wait! There's more art. The Kate also does photography, some of you may or may not remember. Here's bees. Here's bees. Have you photoshopped any of these pictures after the fact, Kate? I see there's one with a comparison. Got spooked by those big bees. Okay. Here's a here's a thing, possibly in Seattle. Possibly somewhere close to her hometown. I don't recognize this building initially. I don't think we visited it. Maybe we did, though. That's right. It's just her first crack at Zelda Classic over underbridges. This reminds me of a hallway in Halo 2 near the beginning, where you have to go through a motel really quickly. And there's some invisible covenant running around. I don't know why. That just arbitrarily reminds me of this. Okay, Kate always does a little Photoshop editing for your photos. Okay, cool. I just didn't know what the... Okay. Alright, cool. Here's a nice fountain. The Fountain of Youth. It was just by some random thing or whatever. It was by Marilyn Manson's house. No, okay. I had a fireplace. I like the fireplace being there. I guess it's just a little small recluse for people to hang out in. Here's a clock. And here's the jobs. No. Okay. Alright, everybody, but now we're going to show you Teamudf's art style. Yeah! Look how much more hip and interesting it is. Okay. That's right, it's Vath. Vath Zerves is back, everybody. Vath Zerves is back. Next. Alright. This is a window for Marilyn Manson. Ooh. The city ones were from a photo shoot you did for an assignment in a history of photography class. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was going to say, it looks like a lot of these are dated 2012? Oh, some of them aren't, actually. This one's dated 2015. This one's dated 2013. Okay, a bunch of different years. Let's see. Fun fact, I got stopped by a security guard on this photo shoot because you were too close to a Microsoft HQ. Wow. Wow, that's pretty funny. You'd think if people wanted to take down Microsoft, they'd send someone other than a little thin white girl with a camera, you know, but okay. She's just gonna come in and take a picture. She's just gonna scare the police. Alright. And here's some colored ones. Actually, here, since this one has like this one has a partner, here I'll show them side by side. The bees now. Okay. Is this your backyard? No, this is that path by your school or something, isn't it? Your university that you went to? Purple one is super ethereal and you love it. Yeah, I do like the purple. I know who else likes the purple. Where could the Gina be? She also purples. What? The one on the right is photoshopped. I can't believe that. Okay. Oh, your Nana and Papa's front yard. Okay, all right. I didn't think you lived in a fantasy world. So there's a bunch of Kate photography and everything. I think that was all the stuff you had, right? Looks like that might have been. Yeah. All right. Now, there's more art to show. Because in the span of the time that it took me to go through all of Kate's photos, it turns out that Aaron wants to be your Valentine. Okay, that's it for the art today. Excellent. Now I shall obtain the one ring. No, I won't at all. Okay. So I was going to base the last thing we do today on whether Kate was ready to read or not. It looks like she is, so let me change plans really fast here, and I need to download something. There it is. Alright, so Kate, let me know when you are up for the readings. And we shall indeed do readings the. We will then proceed to play SCP because Gina and I want to see this freaking 079. Must see him. Okay. Oh, there's like a different command for... Okay. User not online. Well, do I have to, like, come unhidden? I didn't want to come unhidden yet. Alright, did you know that Kate is not on Skype, apparently, despite Skype saying that she's away? That means I can go back to hiding. Fine, I guess I won't. But we will eagerly await the Kate. And now we go to some exclusive footage of Pi taking down every small child in a courtyard with one hand. You screwed with the wrong guy. Okay. No, all right. Your Skype got compromised, so you have to sign in again. Oh, okay, that's right. Ooh. If I go on Do Not Disturb, then people know I'm around. I don't want to... Doesn't stop people. Do Not Disturb doesn't work. Eventually, the Kate will appear, everybody. But first, we go live to this exclusive footage of Pi doing arts and crafts with a pinky finger. Okay, all right. It's not letting you sign in. Oh, boy. I am going to call you on Discord, then. Do I even have you on Discord? I don't think I have you on Discord. Kate, why do I not have you on Discord? What's going on here? How do I add... Oh, add friend. There we go. Alright, so Skype is being a douche, which is of no surprise to anybody. Let us now desperately attempt to summon the creator of the cat. No, okay. Well, I heard one thing.
Hello.
Oh, there she is. All right, now we have to adjust her volume. Okay. All right. How is the Kate? The Kate should say things so that I can adjust the volume.
I'm doing all right. My throat feels a lot better than yesterday.
Yay. Exclusive insider information from the Kate. Okay. Here is what we're reading today. It looks to be about a smidgen over 10 pages, so we could do, I guess I could do the first 5.5 or something.
Okay.
All right. Your main event for the evening is Satellite's Daughter of the Wild preview. Now wait, actually hang on. Do I have the right one? I believe there's 2 versions of these, and I think they're both pinned for some reason. I actually don't know. Here, let me see if this is the same link that I just gave you. It looks like it is. Okay. Morgan, don't get too close, said Mom. I just want to see its markings, whispered the small girl as she crawled closer towards the feline preying in the plains below. Black stripes and bands streaked across golden fur, heads and legs splotched the same black. Morgan slowly crept further, trying not to rustle the underbrush. Her efforts were in vain, the creature noticing its audience, gaze causing her heart to skip a beat. Even as the feline sprinted towards her, she was on her feet, bolting for the nearest tree. 2 toes, she cried out. Clambering up the trunk, she hoisted herself up onto the first branch before reaching out to the next. It lowered at her request, allowing her to ascend even higher, as the she ignored the scratching of claw against bark. A little small hiccup there, I guess. Heavy footfalls drew her gaze as a large gray elk appeared from deeper within the woods. It took only a brief moment to identify the threat hanging from the trunk, stunned mid-climb. Before it could detach, the elk's great antlers flung it free. The feline hit the ground and immediately rolled onto all fours, dashing away from the grand beast who continued to give chase. Morgan panted, heart pounding in her chest as she stood on the second branch, hand against the trunk for support. She watched the elk slow to a stop, satisfied the feeling wouldn't return. Which feeling is this? Before turning and calmly making its way back to her. You never learn, do you, Mama sighed. But I've seen markings like that before, Morgan replied. If you insist on being so bold, will you at least do so with Two Tails at your side? Imagine if he'd been just a little further away. Yeah, but... Her voice trailed off as she looked closer to the once smooth, grassy terrain. The predator's path was now rugged and torn, the implication causing Morgan's eyes to widen. I can't protect you every time, said Mama, invisibly embracing Morgan. Don't let me lose you, child. Morgan nodded and looked down, mumbling, Sorry, Mama. When she saw the elk looking back up at her inquisitively, she smiled and lowered herself from the branch, dropping onto his back and hugging his neck. Thanks, Two Toes. At least he can't scold you, Mama teased. Mama, Morgan whined, stroking his fur as he carried her away. Sitting up and giggling, she asked, Where are you taking me? The elk quietly led her deeper into the woods, which was a terrible movie, by the way. The morning light seeping in through the canopy. A small grumble reminded her she has yet to eat breakfast. Fortunately, several of the trees were fruit-bearing. Peaches, it looked like. As Two Toes passed under one, she extended a hand toward the nearest branch, causing it to lower and offer its bounty. Grinning, she plucked 3 peaches and said, Thank you! Okay, now, all right. Thank you, as the branch resumed its original position. Her first bite was unexpectedly juicy, the peach practically popping as its juices trickled down her chin. She giggled, making it halfway through the peach when Two Toes' destination came into a sight. A pond! With a gasp and a grin, she nearly dismounted until she remembered she still had 2.5 peaches left. She devoured the rest of her first peach and immediately started on the second. Slow down, you'll choke. I just want to swim, Morgan replied through a sloppy grin. The water won't be going anywhere, Mama laughed. Oh, all right. As she reluctantly slowed, Two Toes stepped into the shallows, disturbing the birds taking their morning bathe. He lowered his head to take a drink as Morgan finished the second peach. She then slid off the elk, landing in a crouch with a small splish kaboom. Setting the 2 peach pits in her lap, she dug into the third peach with her thumbs, extracting its pit before extending the peach to the elk. Here you go, Two Toes. He reached over to gently accept it in his jaws. Morgan giggled and patted his snout before collecting the pits and placing them on the shore. Immediately afterwards, she dashed into the water, going in as deep as she could before submerging. Sensing the presence of simple life, she surfaced, tossing back her long, wet, dark hair before tilting her head to the side. Are there fish in here? There are, said Mama. Most likely brought here by birds. Morgan frowned. Don't birds eat fish? Many do, but they didn't intend to bring the fish here. It's possible the fish eggs got stuck to a bird elsewhere who carried them here. Wow. Wow. What video is that from? Oh, Yugi, no. No. Yes. Morgan tread water, looking below the surface for fish. Silvers of movement caught her eye a short distance away from her, seemingly avoiding her, an irony she grinned at. She swam for a while, enjoying the moment of peace and the coolness of the water. Eventually she swam back to shore, shivering at the sudden chill as she waded toward a large, smooth rock that rested in the shallows. She climbed upon it and sat on the edge, letting her feet, which barely reached the pond, kick on the surface. Now and then she could see silhouettes beneath the surface, the fish finding it safe to reclaim the disturbed territory. She giggled at this and watched them for a moment, humming to herself. At length, she looked up to the sky and asked, Is that how I got here, Mama? I mean, like the fish. You said they were brought here by something else. Did something bring me out here from my home? There was something of an uneasy pause before Mama answered, Not exactly. Morgan frowned. There are others like me, aren't there? Another pause, this one seemingly longer than the last. There are. Morgan's eyes widened, a gentle gasp escaping from an excited grin. Really? She exclaimed. Yes. Her excited smile lingered a moment before becoming a frown. What's wrong? Nothing. She embraced Morgan almost protectively, rather. Proactively. Yep. Okay, good for me. Before continuing, they live far from here. Excitement reclaimed Morgan's features. Can I go see them? Another brief silence preceded a soft chuckle. Are I and Two Tails not enough for you? Morgan's eyes widened as she shook her head. You're not. Get out. No, I'm kidding. Okay. That's not what I mean. I love you and Two Toes. Did I say Two Tails by mistake? God dang it. In a calmer voice, she explained, but I want to see others like me. Mama didn't immediately reply, only continuing to hold her. They're not all like you. Humans are incredibly varied. Humans? That's what your species is called. You're a human. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Oh. Morgan repeated the word a couple times under her breath, getting a feel for it, committing it to memory. Frowning, she asked, how come you never told me? You never asked. Morgan blinked, then giggled. Anyway, Mama continued, they can be tall, short, white, thin, Republicans, Democrat. Okay, no, all right. Their eyes and hair can be many colors. Their faces are all different, but they all have eyes, ears, a nose, and a mouth like you. Well, it's certainly possible for some humans to look incredibly similar. No two are exactly alike. Actually, they did a study, I want to say semi-recently, maybe the earlier 2010s, where they found out that each person on average has like 7 doubles or something. 7 people on average that look exactly like them throughout the planet. That was kind of interesting to me. 7 doubloons. There you go, satellite. And that goes for their behavior as well. Her voice began to take on a somewhat more grim tone. Some are kind, some are not. Some are playful, some are quiet. Some are content, others not so much. I want to see them, Morgan exclaimed excitedly. Her feet slapped onto a rock as she stood. Where do they live? Yet another pause. Beyond the wilderness. Morgan turned about on the rock. Which way? Several. Humans have many settlements. Life seemed to return to normal as Mama's voice as she said, But they're so far away. Are you sure you want to look for them? Morgan nodded multiple times. Yeah, I want to see more of your world too, Mama. She folded her hands in front of her, politely waiting for a response. Instead, she felt a heavy nudge between her shoulder blades. She fell forward with a yelp, I guess, landing on all fours in the shallow water. Shuffling around, she laid eyes upon her assailant. It was Yugi Moto. Yugi Two Toes. Grinning, she stood. You're gonna get it. She took a few steps back and planted her feet, raising her hands in front of her belly, palms slightly opened above the surface of the water. She pictured the water in her mind. It was indeed water. No, okay. Reaching out to it with her very being. Two Toes reared up and turned to flee, but Morgan's fingers closed before she lifted her hands and thrust her palms forward. Answering to her will, a liquid arm extended from the surface of the pond and lashed out towards the elk. He made a noise of surprise as it splattered against his haunches, soaking his fur. Coming to a stop, he peered sideways at Morgan, seemingly in disdain. Morgan giggled. I'm getting too fast for you, Two Toes. She's just too fast. Okay, no, all right. The elk huffed and puffed and blew her house down before turning and prancing in Morgan's direction. She cried out in playful shock and spun, attempting to run away from his charge, and rolled onto her back to see Two Toes standing above her. His antlers were lower, daring her to make another movement. She bared her teeth, deep breaths hissing between them, heart pounding. Glancing downward, she spotted the gap between his tall legs. She planted her hands on the slimy pond bottom and pushed herself upward, tucking and rolling onto her feet before lunging forward onto another roll. Coming up on her feet, she turned and stumbled a few steps back with an elated grin. Ha ha, I escaped. She giggled madly when she realized she was staring at her upside down between his legs. He then turned and bounded after her yet again, eliciting a squeak from Morgan. Is a god. who only had time to reach down and manually splash him before running. It did nothing to slow him down, and her snout made contact once more. This time, however, she felt herself being lifted up, crying out as she flipped backwards over Two Toes' head and landing on his shoulders. Clutching onto his neck, and she gasped for breath, heart pounding in her chest. Finally, she laughed and nuzzled his soft fur. That was awesome, Two Toes. She then sat up straight, resting her hands on the back of his neck. Now, let's go find the humans? When his only response was to look at her inquisitively, she giggled. Right, which way, Mama? Yeah, that distraction did not work. I was beginning to suspect that this was a distraction to get her off the human thing, but I don't know. I guess we'll see. Another silence. Morgan then felt Mama's touch on her shoulder, accompanied by the sound of a soft sigh. Not all humans are as kind-hearted as you, little one. Maybe don't share your enthusiasm for all life. They may even fear Two Toes. Fear Two Toes? Morgan repeated with a frown. She leaned against his neck again, lovingly stroking his fur with her right hand. But he's a good elk. He wouldn't hurt them. Elk are noble creatures, but if they consider you a threat, they are very dangerous. Very few humans have been blessed to know one as a companion. Morgan's eyes widened. Really? Indeed. Now, are you absolutely certain you wish to venture beyond this realm and seek out the humans? While her eagerness persisted, concern also entered her mind. She took several moments to consider everything Mama had said before so far before finally nodding. I am. A tiny smile came to her lips. Maybe they can teach me things, or I can learn things from them. You said they're all different, right? Maybe I'll find some nice ones. And if they're not nice, I'll kill them. No, okay. I'll just leave. I'll hire Pi, the ninja alchemist, to defeat them. Silence fell. A sudden breeze across her damp skin sent a chill down her spine as she awaited an answer she began to fear wouldn't come. At last, another sigh preceded Mama's answer. Very well, my child. I will guide you. Morgan beamed, throwing herself against the elk's fuzzy neck again, snuggling him happily as she exclaimed, Thanks, Mama! I promise I won't get in any trouble. It's not you I distrust, she replied. Morgan nodded and sat up again. I know. If something happens, you and Two Tails will protect me. If you're ready to begin, then head east. All right. Morgan looked to the sky, seeking the morning sun's position. She then patted Two Toes' neck with both hands before pointing in that direction. Let's go, Two Toes, that-a-way. The elk looked around at her, and then in the direction indicated. Lowing, he turned and sauntered eastward. Morgan mimicked the noise before prodding him with her heels. Come on, Two Toes, you gotta be faster than that. Snickering, she added, Don't be a slow toes. What page are we on? I don't even know where I'm supposed to stop.
5.
Oh, okay. He sped up to a trot, disregarding her new nickname. Be aware, said Mama. It will take many days. Don't push Two Toes too hard. Make sure to rest. She chuckled. Or, I suppose, give Two Toes a rest. Morgan grinned. I would walk, but Two Toes is faster. Besides, I love riding on his back. I suppose you're right, but still, try not to push him too hard. Promise. Morgan assumed Mama was content with this answer. Stealing one last glance at the pond, she noticed the discarded peach pits on the shore. Wait! She swung her legs over to one side of Two Toes and slid him off. Darting to the pond, she grabbed up the pits and, after locating suitable patches, buried the pits in the ground. After rinsing her hands off of the dirt, she climbed back up onto Two Toes, who had followed her to the water's edge, and set off once more towards the east. Their journey began in silence, allowing Morgan's mind to run wild with what little information Mama had told her about humans. She imagined as many as she could to the best of her ability, all with different bodies and faces and hair colors. Truthfully, most of them looked silly in her mind, causing her to giggle a time or two. What's so funny? Mama asked. Humans look funny. Oh, you haven't seen any others yet. I mean the ones in my mind. Ah, I see. Mother laughed with daughter as Morgan described some of her mental images, mostly consisting of misshapen noses or oversized ears or large bellies and fingers with tiny heads. Mama did her best to curb her expectations, but nevertheless indulged her sense of humor. When they had their share, they fell silent once more, Morgan's eyes on the world ahead of her. Two Toes trotted dutifully onwards, briefly galloping when the path was clear. He slowed down as they passed through some thickets. Morgan instinctively lifted her legs out of their reach. A handful of tiny scars on her thigh were a reminder of their danger. Mama, did you really have to make sharp plants like that? She lamented as she traced them with a finger. Soothing laughter preceded the response. The plants chose to be that way, not I. Morgan tilted her head. The plants did? How? Don't mistake them as unintelligent. Plants are very smart beings as well. They grew those stickers to protect themselves from being eaten. Oh, she smiled, looking around the woods and spotting a golden flower. But what about those? She then pointed at a different flower and another. And those? And those? Mama chuckled. Would you eat a pretty flower? Morgan shook her head. Nuh-uh, they're too pretty and they smell nice. You're right, but I'm teasing you a little. Most animals don't make that distinction. However, usually they look for other sources of food, and despite how beautiful they may look, some are poisonous. Morgan nodded with a knowing grimace. Oh, there's like a break here. Well, you might as well just take over then.
Alright. The next few days passed by without event, the group stopping only to eat, rest, or take care of other necessities. One night they took shelter under the shade of a very large tree, the night sky sometimes peeking through its branches. Morgan lied flat on her back, hands folded on her sternum, head against Two Toes' side. She peered up through the leaves at the stars above, at length asking, Mama, what's it like where the humans live? Is it the same as here? What do you mean? The voice responded curiously. Like, do they have all the same trees and grass? Are they all the same colors? Well, of course, Mama chuckled. But they don't live in the open as you do. They build shelters for themselves to live in. They go about outside during the waking hours.
Ugh.
Are those like nests? She asked. I suppose so, yes. Morgan giggled. What do they look like? All sorts of different shapes. Some from wood, some from stones, some even combine the two. I admit their handiwork can be quite impressive. Morgan smiled, her mouth almost immediately stretching open in a yawn that ended with a tiny squeak. I can't wait to see them, she mumbled. Sleep, my child. You'll be one day closer if you do. Morgan smiled again before adjusting her position, snuggling a little more comfortably against Two Toes' side. When that wasn't quite comfortable enough, she placed her hands on the ground, focusing carefully on the least comfortable areas. It listened, shifting its contours to better suit her, and Morgan, grateful for this, snuggled up more comfortably to the oak. Good night, Mama. Sweet dreams, my child. The human settlement was just up ahead.
Oh,
Even
no.
from this from this distance, Morgan could see figures moving around between big brown nests, all in different but mostly rectangular shapes, odd yet familiar shapes. She was so eager, she slid off of Two Toes' back, falling a much longer distance than she was used to. She didn't think much of it before darting forwards towards the settlement. There were so many people in so many different shapes and sizes, some tall, some short, the hair on their heads varying in length, color, and tidiness. Most of them possessed some kind of odd covering over their bodies as well, but Morgan's curiosity was outweighed by her excitement at finally being in the presence of other humans. Hello there, greeted a taller, smiling female who somewhat resembled Morgan. Hello, Morgan replied. I'm a human too.
What?
The female laughed.
General Kenobi.
I can see that. Why not come inside? Morgan nodded enthusiastically. Yes! The female continued to smile as she gently took Morgan's hand and led her towards one of the nearby nests, fashioned from bare wood. Morgan examined it closely, failing to notice a root protruding from the ground. She tripped and thrashed about, suddenly finding herself in a sitting position. The nests were gone, and the night sky replaced the daylight. She sat there panting, heart racing, her hazy mind trying to figure out what had happened. When she realized she had been dreaming, she fell back against Two Toes and whimpered. Bad dream? Mama asked, presence wrapping about her. She shook her head. Good dream. And something tripped me and woke me up. Oh, what was it about? I met the humans, and they were nice. One was even taking me to see her nest, but then I tripped. Two Toes grunted, having been awakened by her frustrations, and watched her curiously. Perhaps it's better this way, said Mama, so you don't have any false expectations. Morgan considered that a moment before mumbling, I guess. and snuggling against Two Toes' side again. Two Toes, satisfied that she was fine, nestled his head against her once more. You'll be there soon, Morgan, Mama said. Morgan looked down at her feet with a slight frown, upset at them. She extended them, making alternating circling motions before gently pounding her ankles against the ground. Believing that would calm them, she withdrew her legs up to her chest and nuzzled once more against Two Toes, attempting to fall back asleep. It wasn't easy, thanks to a combination of excitement and frustration. She tried to picture the scene from her dream, but found herself only able to recall bits and pieces. This only frustrated her further, a groan escaping her throat. Idly, she stroked Two Toes' fur behind his ears, trying to calm herself down further. Her mind still danced with a few images she could recall from the dream, but she failed to properly connect them into a single cohesive one. Eventually, she groaned and gave up, staring out at the scattered brush around them. It wasn't much to look at, but it was the only distraction she had. She tried to count the leaves she saw, but there wasn't enough light to do so. That and her heavy eyelids didn't help. Her eyelids fluttered open once more, this time to sunlight. She moaned sleepily and pushed herself into a sitting position, stretching out her arms and legs. She lowered her hands into her lap and examined her surroundings, finding nothing amiss. Two Toes was already awake, watching her. Morgan smiled and reached out to pet him somewhat deliberately. Good morning, Two Toes, she said, then looked up towards the sky. Good morning, Mama. Good morning, child, Mama responded. Here, there are golden raspberries this way. Morgan's eyes widened as she felt the light guiding breeze brush past her shoulders, pointing her to a bush a short distance away. Smiling excitedly, she pushed herself to her feet and darted towards the bush, asking, Why didn't you tell me last night? So you wouldn't eat them all, Mama laughed. Remember the last time? Oh, Mama, they're so yummy! She laughed as she slowed to a stop in front of the bush, delicately picking them into a hand. In that case, far be it from me to keep you from getting sick. It was so worth it. Despite this, Morgan heeded Mama's advice and ate them one at a time, only slightly slower than she would normally have. Morgan, savor them. Mama. In no time at all, she had nearly cleared the bush. Pouting at the realization, she desperately searched for more to no avail before she sighed with resignation. She plucked the final few and looked around for Two Toes, who was grazing back near the large tree. Smiling, she returned to him, extending her hand. Here, Two Toes, you can have the last one. He watched her briefly, mouthful of grass. Once he swallowed this, he collected the offering, which took him no time at all to eat, and licked Morgan's face gratefully. She squealed and laughed, wiping her face with her forearm before climbing back up onto his shoulders. All right, I'm ready to go. Two Toes only grunted and lowered his head to resume grazing. Oh, fine. Finish your breakfast first, then we go. A sense of familiarity overtook Morgan the further they progressed. It wasn't until they entered a wooded plain that she said, Hey, we've been here before. That's right, said Mama. You came here from the south. The chirping of birds reached Morgan's ears, and she gasped, looking around for the source. Where are they? Mama's presence brushed past her, pointing to a nearby tree. Here. Morgan's head whipped around as she located the familiar tree. Peering through the branches, she spotted a bird's nest and beamed. They made it! Thanks to you, child. Just then, a bluebird flew to the nest, regarding Morgan for a moment before tending to its unseen children. Still beaming, Morgan called out, You're welcome! They continued onward, the wooded plains giving way to open fields. Further streams split the fields, Morgan resisting temptation to stop and play. Eventually, hills sprouted in the terrain. Morgan slid off of Two Toes, dashing up to the peak of the nearest hill and rolling sideways down the other side, giggling the whole way. Springing up, she darted up the next hill, this time somersaulting downward. About midway down, however, she involuntarily uncurled, flailing and tumbling lopsidedly to the bottom. Morgan, are you all right? Mama asked concernedly. Two Toes bounded down the hill after Morgan, and gracefully slowing to a stop beside her and examining her. Morgan pushed herself up to her knees, shaking off some of the wooziness. Then she looked up and grinned. That was great! She headed for the next hill, taking a similar, albeit much more controlled, tumble, laughter filling the air. Once there were no more hills to roll down, she returned to Two Toes' back. Soon they entered more forest, only the trees here were more curved and twisted. Their bark was rougher, more gnarled, a dark brown in color. Roots protruded from the ground, winding throughout the woods, proving difficult for Two Toes to traverse. Where there wasn't root, there was dirt. Grass was scarce and almost as dark as the trees. Morgan scanned the new territory, head slowly turning left and right. The only noise apart from the sound of hoof upon dirt was the whistling of birds or the occasional scurrying of rodents. Mama, this place feels so old. No older than the rest of the world. Morgan smiled slightly. I know that. I mean, aged, I know. This place was significant once. How? You'll see soon. Head this way. Her presence directed Morgan northeast, Two Toes instinctively following the path. Morgan looked up at the branches, noticing pods hanging from many of them. Several had fallen to the ground as well. She carefully slid to the ground and collected one, turning it over in her fingers. It was grooved, twice the size of her fist, a large crease dividing it in half. Attempts to pry it open were in vain, so instead she took advantage of a nearby root, pounding the pod against it until it cracked open. Just as she suspected, nuts were inside. She grinned and crunched one, finding it to be a bit bland, but otherwise acceptable. After clearing the current pod, she spent the next several minutes collecting more pods and harvesting the tiny morsels, setting aside a pile for Two Toes as well. Squeaking and movement drew her attention. Looking up to the nearest tree, she saw a chipmunk attached to the trunk, watching her closely. She glanced down at the pod in her hand before placing a few nuts in her palm. She stood to offer them, but the chipmunk scampered higher up in the tree, startled by her movement. It's okay, she extended her hand. These are for you. The little rodent stared at her several moments. Morgan could sense its fear, though it seemed more aimed at Two Toes. She glanced over her shoulder. The elk had moved closer, but only because he had realized the pile was for him. Giggling, she looked back at the chipmunk and said, We won't hurt you, promise. Through the same method, she sensed its feeling. She communicated her own intentions. The chipmunk perked up before climbing downward. Grinning, Morgan extended her hand further, allowing it to climb across and settle on her wrist before partaking of her offering. Morgan giggled excitedly, carefully reaching over with her free hand and brushing a single finger down the rodent's striped back. You're so soft, she squealed, unable to resist stroking his bushy tail as well. I wish I could take you with me, but you have a family, don't you? After a couple of gentler pets, she let the chipmunk enjoy the meal in peace. It made short work of the pile before hopping back onto the tree and scampering off into the branch. She felt Mama's touch on her shoulder and she instinctively reached for it, feeling only slight disappointment when all she felt was her own shoulder. After a moment, she turned to face Two Toes. Aren't you done yet? His only answer was a grunt. To you too, she giggled and picked up the last pod, scooping out the final nuts and offering them to him. Here, take these and let's get going. He accepted them and she climbed up his fur, Two Toes setting off northeast once more. So strange here, Mama. There's not a lot of flowers here or anything. Many flowers need moisture and sunlight. Not much sun peeks through the foliage here. Morgan tilted her head. Then how do the trees survive? Mama chuckled. The leaves collect sunlight for them, silly child. Oh, Morgan giggled. But that's not fair. They're not sharing the sun with the flowers. A touch of mock grumpiness entered Mama's voice, and she replied, Oh, those selfish trees, just wanting to keep all the sun for themselves. Sounding less playful, she added, Much like I wish I could keep you for myself. She brushed against Morgan's hair. The small girl again reached for the touch, her fingers entangling the bushy strands and lingering there for a moment. Finally, she lowered her hand. I love you, Mama, and I love Two Toes too. I won't ever leave you. She paused before tittering. Besides, you're everywhere. But I want to see who else shares this world with me. Other people that I can talk to, since I can't talk to Two Toes. She looked at the back of his head and grinned. But I would if he could. I understand. Just don't forget everything I've done, probably, for you, child. Morgan frowned. Why would I? You're my mama. Yes. She once again touched Morgan's shoulder. Yes, indeed. Morgan frowned. Is something wrong, Mama? No. Look ahead. The trees began to thin out, leading to a cliff's edge bathed in light. Morgan again dismounted, Two Toes, eagerly running towards the edge. Her feet slowed as they felt the sudden change of terrain, shifting from dirt to dusty, smooth stone. She looked down at the dirt-colored stone, finding it oddly level. There were small seams in the stone, and possibly straight. She crouched down, tracing them with her finger. Running her palm over the stone, she found it felt unlike any stone she knew. Standing, she approached the edge once more, carefully peering over. Some distance down was flat ground, and what appeared to be a tree stump sitting next to a ring of more natural rocks. Its center darkened. Carefully lowering herself to the ground, she peeked down at the face of the cliff, eyes widening at what she saw. The entire cliff seemed to be made of the same flat stone, shaped deliberately and with multiple openings, the largest of which was at the very bottom, located perfectly center. Morgan looked around for a way down. Fortunately, the ground to her left curved around to the bottom. She retreated from the edge and sprang to her feet, darting down the stone path. Even the ground before the cliff was made of the same stone. She stood in front of the entrance, staring up at the edifice before her. Is this a human nest? She whispered in awe. Not quite, said Mamma. Clothes clopped behind her, Two Toes catching up to her. She glanced at him before staring at the entrance, faintly illuminated by the outside light. Her feet carried her forward, her heart pounding in her chest. Two Toes' warning low made her gasp and spin around, searching for a threat. It took little time to notice the new figure standing a short distance away. It stood like a human, but it was covered in fur, had a bit of a snout and pointed ears atop its head. In fact, the creature looked like a bipedal feline, with tan fur, faint black vertical stripes on its face, similarly faint black speckles on its entire body, silver ears with black tufts of fur at the tips, and a white underbelly. There was also an odd artificial brown band wrapped diagonally across its torso from its right shoulder to left hip. Who are you? It spoke in a demanding, lilting tone.
And that be it for the intro to Daughters of the Wild. Alright.
Morgan find her way into Skyrim.
Yes. Alright. I did a Control F here for Giggle, and I'm coming up with 15 results amongst these 10 pages here. So maybe we can do something other than Giggle. That would be like my because giggle is a very standout word. Not a lot of things giggle. Then you're using like, yeah. The way that I've tried to fix this is to actually describe the contours and the movement of the face. This is a thing that a lot of characters in Destiny's Horizon and Dokailo do, but it's like, I don't know, it's just kind of helped me out with that, because yeah, otherwise you end up with just a bunch of redundancy or whatever. And it's not even to just replace it with a new word. I actually think just using the thesaurus on purpose for the sake of having a different word is a misuse of the thesaurus. Alright, so don't go overly fancy just for sake of not using the same word twice in a row or whatever. And I mean, I noticed that a couple other times too, like, you know, Morgan frowned shows up 2 times within the span of 3 lines here or something. Like, she can just maintain the expression or whatever, but right. So yeah, you're very controlling as far as the expressions and stuff go. And I think you can be a little lighter on them here. You don't have to be as controlling on the expressions. There's a lot of things that the characters are saying or doing that we can assume part of their response or whatever. So yeah, I do like where this is going, though. I do like the innocence in the character. The scene with Two Toes is wonderful, especially when you figure out that they're trying to get her off of wanting to find other humans, which is just really hilarious to me. We go through a little bit of a small journey here. Maybe not all of it is useful, but you know, whatever. Then, of course, you've got the nice cliffhanger ending. We've got a nice description of this character. A description that could use fewer instances of the word black. You've got the word black 3 times here in the span of 2 lines. It's like, yeah, super black, yeah. Yeah, I only notice things like this especially because there was one instance in Battlezone where I described Horus the Black Flame Dragon, and I apparently managed to pull off the word metal in about, in the span of like these 6 lines, I apparently pulled it off like 11 times, so... Someone ranted the heck out of me on that one, so that's one of my remembrances of that. Yeah, but I love the name Two Toes. I love the fact that you know, Morgan names, like, the characters themselves are doing exactly what they should be doing. Very good characterization, I think. Everyone's one of the strongest competitors. Yeah, Rainstorm rating the PDW wiki here or whatever. So yeah, maybe I would try more facial features themselves, or just forget it and go on to some other type of description or whatever. Like, cause like the banter itself seems pretty good. Kate, do you have comments for the Satellite 54?
Yeah, aside from the, overuse of certain words, I think actually the sentence structure is very good. It's very varied. Um, you don't have the same words in each sentence, like and at the beginning of the sentence like we saw before in other stories.
Yeah, true.
And I do think that the character interaction is done very well. It felt like some scenes went on a little bit long, but not like overbearingly, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like they could have been tightened up a little bit more. But otherwise it's, it does its job. Like we
Yeah.
see what it's supposed to be doing here, so that's all good.
Yeah, I can't make too many pacing comments on a slice of life story because I don't do slice of life very often, but I do feel like as the reader, this carrot has been dangled in front of my face, and then we're not really pulling a full-blown Pokemon where we say, "Okay, but first, here's all this nonsense." This was not like by any means bad or too long-winded. We're getting to something here by the end. You've dangled a new carrot in front of us and said, okay, hold on, we've got this one carrot, but first there's another carrot. So as long as there's a carrot that's doing something, I think this is fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Oh, and so on the note, I did notice something that happened a little more often toward the beginning that seemed to disappear in the end, and I'm not sure if that was a stylistic choice or if you just like forgot about it or what. There are several instances in the beginning where you make allusions to something happening before a response, and you actively point out several times that it happens before a response. And I was trying. Let me see if I can find some of them. Politely waiting for. Something here, something like preceding the response. I noticed this happens several times. You don't like always have to present it that way. I wasn't sure if that was just like I said, your stylistic choice or whatever, but it did seem to fade away afterwards, so I wasn't sure if it was entirely intentional, but I don't know, that was just another thing I noticed. That's not even really a critique at all. I'm just pointing things out. Like I don't know if that's intended to be there that way. Okay. All right, cool. Let's see. Chat was having a nice big debate about whether to start the story with a piece of dialogue. Um, I don't know. I don't actually have any input on this. I usually start my stories with like an italicized thing that's very strange, so I don't have any input on this actually. Were there other comments from the chat that maybe we hadn't gotten to yet? Anyone wanted to give some feedback there? I saw it was generally positive, which is what I would expect for something like this. This is quite good. Yes, this is TS's writing. This is the satellite writing. It's Christmas! Laura starts to, okay, kick up where you left off. That's where you wanted to leave off for sake of enticement. Okay. Some of it could be relics from previous drafts. Draft relics are also the bane of your existence. But Rainstorm... How will we know if that's what she said? Okay, now, alright. Add it to banned books. Dang. Yeah, there was a big giant debate on whether to start this thing with a piece of dialogue, but I don't know, it's whatever to me. Things are
I
established
think
right away.
yeah, I actually enjoy um like when stories start off with action, and that could be in the form of dialogue, like if it's in the middle of a scene, because then you're like right into it right away, as opposed to all this stuff being thrown at you about this world that you might not be able to relate with right away as you could with an action scene.
Sure. Yeah. And I even dislike the premise behind discussions like this, but it really does come down to the fact that a lot of people have been trained to immediately grab the reader or they're going to shut off. So people then turn around and then say, okay, well, now when I'm writing, now I have to immediately grab people in the first page or it's dead in the water. And we're like subtly turning humans into ADHD addicts over here
Yeah.
who can't like do anything right or invest any time in anything. And I hate this notion that we keep saying, let's get on a discussion about the pacing, or let's throw action in there right away, because otherwise people will check out. Because I also completely blame the readers for not wanting to sit down and just dive into something. Readers have been trained to get into something or get out.
Yeah.
Which I think is a huge mistake. You know, reading should not be a let's rush into the fire pit thing here. Reading should be, all right, I'm going to some other world, let's see what they got.
Yeah.
So it's my hope that people who read books regularly are not ADHD addicts and look at the first line or look at the first page and immediately dive out if it's not to their liking. I really hope this is not the case. But, yeah. So there you go. I mean, I'm not going to say don't do a grabbing first line. I'm just going to say it's depressing how far some of these discussions have to go about pacing and immediate action or whatever. Because we're freaking... Just, good God. Take your time investing yourself in these books, people. If it's a book that you think you're going to genuinely enjoy, you're going to give it more than one page. Otherwise, what the flit are you doing? The reader, the reader has just as much of a responsibility as the writer. I'm sorry, I'm off my rant now. Go ahead.
I think Steph always starts with like this huge rehash of like everything that's happened in her previous works, or just like this big old history dump before she starts the actual story. But since I usually write one shots, I usually have to get into the action right away.
Yeah. Yeah, and yeah, have fun playing the publisher's game, everyone. Sure. Go ahead, play the publisher's game. I don't give a crap. But yeah, you have to do certain things if you want to publish in a certain method. But I'm just saying, in a vacuum, looking at it as a story, yeah. Reader and writer need to work a little more closely than they have been in the past. So yeah, it was Daughters of the Wild by The Satellite. Looking forward to seeing more. But I am going to go ahead and end this episode of the Community Showcase because I am ready to do something else. See you later, YouTube. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye!
Bye!